So in this video, we are going to learn how to create KanbanFlow tasks from Google Sheet. Now suppose guys, you and your team members use KanbanFlow to manage all the tasks and project. And you want, whenever you add a new row of data or task details into Google Sheet, you want to create a new task in KanbanFlow with the same details. Now let me tell you, you can completely automate this process. So the trigger of this automation will be adding a new row of task details into a Google Sheet. An action will be creating a new task in KanbanFlow with the same details. Now how you can set up this automation? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. And after reaching to this dashboard, just click on Create Workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name this workflow as Google Sheets to KanbanFlow. And then just click on Create. Now we can see that our workflow is open over here. And in this workflow, we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with our trigger window. So the idea here is, first, we have to get the details or the data of new task, which we are adding in our Google Sheet inside Pabbly Connect. So we are going to connect our Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect and get this data. And after that, using Pabbly Connect, we are going to send those same details to KanbanFlow so that using these details, we can create a task in KanbanFlow. Now here guys, to begin with, here in our trigger window, in Choose App, search for Google Sheets. Select Google Sheets. And then in trigger event from the drop-down, select the trigger event as new or updated spreadsheet row. After selecting a trigger event, Pabbly Connect gave us a webhook URL. Now using this webhook URL, we are going to connect our Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect. And how you can do that? You just have to follow the help text given below over here. So just copy this webhook URL from here and then go to the Google Sheet where you are adding the details of the new task which you want to create. So this is the Google Sheet. Now after this, just go to Extensions, Add-ons and click on Get Add-ons. After clicking on Get Add-ons, here we have reached to Google Workspace Marketplace. And here in Search app, we have to search for Pabbly Connect Webhooks. Pabbly, Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So as you can see, Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on is already installed in my Google Sheets account. You just have to install the same add-on into your own Google Sheets account and then just refresh your Google Sheet once. This is a very important step. And after this, once again we will go to Extensions and this time we will see that Pabbly Connect Webhooks, this add-on can be seen over here. Just hover on it and click on Initial Setup. After clicking on Initial Setup, this box appears in front of us and it is basically asking us 3 things. First one is the selected sheet, that from which sheet we want to send data to Pabbly Connect. So right now in my Google Sheet, I have only one sheet as you can see that is named as Sheet 1. So that is why here we have selected Sheet 1. If you have multiple sheets in your Google spreadsheet, you may have to select the sheet that from which sheet you want to send the data. Then it is asking us for the webhook URL. Now here in webhook URL guys, we have to paste the same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. Just copy it from here and paste it over here. After this, the next thing it asks us is trigger column. Now guys, you must be thinking, what is this trigger column? So trigger column is basically the last data entry column of our Google Sheet. Let's take an example in the background like this sheet. In this sheet, the column D will be my trigger column because this is the last data entry column in which my data exists. After column D, in any of the column, none of my data does not exist. So here in trigger column, I'm going to select column D and then click on Send Test. Now when we click on Send Test, here it is showing us test data sent successfully. So basically what it has done, the details or the data of the first row after headers is been sent to Pabbly Connect in response. And here in Pabbly Connect, you will see that we have received the response. And yes, and in this response, you can see the details of the same rows, the same task which we have added in our Google Sheet. So here you can see the same task name. Here we have the same subtask. We have the name of the spreadsheet. Then we will scroll down, we will see the description and the color of the task as well. So in this way, the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed. we have successfully connected our Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect and received the data. Now click on the submit button on this box, and then once again we have to go to extensions, Pabbly Connect Works, and this time we have to select send on event. By selecting send on event, we are telling this Google Sheet, we are telling this add-on that whenever the data or the task details in the new row is added in our Google Sheet till our trigger column, immediately send that data to Pabbly Connect. So whenever in a new row we add the task details till our trigger column, that is column D, then the data will be sent to Pabbly Connect. Now after getting these details, let's move to step 2, and in step 2 we have to send these same details to KanbanFlow so that we can create a task over there. For that, just scroll down, come to our action window, and here in choose apps, search for KanbanFlow. Select it, and then in action event from the drop down, select the action event as create task. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now guys, here we have to connect our KanbanFlow account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, the only thing it asks us is the API token. So we have to enter the API token of our KanbanFlow account. Now you must be thinking how you can get this API token. So to get it, you just have to go to your KanbanFlow account. This is the board of tasks which I have created named as Webcon. And after reaching to this board, on the right side, click on this menu option and click on settings. After coming to the settings page, from the left side, click on API and webhooks, and here you can see the option of API token and webhook. Just click on this add API token button, give this API token a name, for example, Pabbly1. This is the name I am giving, and then it is asking us for the permission, that what permission we want to give to this API token. So you may select all the permission or whatever permission you want to give to this token, and then just click on this add button. Now as we click on add, here we can see that this API token is been added on our KanbanFlow account. Click on show, and from here you can copy the API token. Just copy this API token from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. Just a second, and then just click on save. Now as we click on save, we will see our KanbanFlow account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is the column. So in the drop down below, we can see a list of all the columns which we have created in our KanbanFlow board can be seen. So here we have to do today, in progress, and done. So I've created 4 columns for different types of tasks, and here in the drop down we can see all of those 4 columns over here. So out of all of these 4, in which column we want to create this task. So all the tasks whose details I'm adding in this Google Sheet, I want to add all of these tasks in this to-do column. So I will be selecting to do over here. Then it is asking us for the swim lane, and the help text below it says only applicable if the board has horizontal swim lanes. Now here guys, in my board, you can see I haven't created any kind of swim lanes right now. So that's why we are just going to ignore this field for now. And then the next thing it asks us is the name, that what will be the name of the task which we want to create. So from Google Sheet, we have received the response of the name of the task. In our Google Sheet, we have added the task name, that was MailChimp integration, for example. And then here in Pabbly Connect, we have received the same response. Now here guys, from this response which we have received from Google Sheet, we have to map the response of task name over here in this field. And the process of mapping is very simple. Simply click on this field, and in the drop down below, you can see a list of all the responses which we have received from Google Sheets. And out of all of these responses, select the response of task name, and it will be mapped over here. Now after this, it is asking us for the description. So we have also received the description of the task which we have added in our Google Sheet. So from here guys, from these responses, let's map the description as well. Click on this field, and from the drop down below, select the response of description and map it over here. The next thing it asks us is the color, that what will be the color of the task. And here you can see a drop down, but also instead of drop down, you can map the data. So we just have to turn this mapping button on in front of it, clear the default response, and from the drop down from Google Sheet responses, select the response of color and map it. And at last, we have to mention the subtask. So click here, and from the drop down, map the response of subtask. So in this way, we have basically added all the details of the task which we want to create in KanbanFlow. So from Google Sheet responses, we have mapped it. Now just click on this Save and Send Test Request button. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see that we have received some response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the data which we have mapped over here, Basically, the details of the task which we have added in a Google Sheet are now added as a task. Using these details, we have created a task in KanbanFlow. So let's check it. We will go to our KanbanFlow account. And yes, guys, here you can see that a task has been created by the name as MailChimp integration, the same task name which we have added in our Google Sheet. Now let's open this task, and here you can see the same details. We have the same color, the red color of the task which we have added in our Google Sheet. We have the same description. We have to integrate MailChimp inside Pabbly Connect, which we have added in our Google Sheet, and also we have the same subtask, search for API doc. So in this way, we can see that the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect is working perfectly fine. Now, every time in a new row, we add a new task details in Google Sheet, automatically, instantly using these details, a new task will be created in KanbanFlow. So after setting up this automation, let's test this automation once in real time. For example, I would like to name this task as real-time test. This is the name of the task which I'm giving. Just a second. Then let's add the description as we are testing this automation. I want the color to be, for example, I have created this. Just a second. Let me clear it. And from this drop down, I select the color as, for example, yellow. And the subtask is test automation workflow. So right now, we just have entered the details of a new task in our Google Sheet in a new row. And as we add these details, we will see instantly within seconds, using these details, a new task will be created in KanbanFlow. So let's check it. We'll go to KanbanFlow. And yes, guys, here you can see that immediately, instantly within seconds, a new task is created. So the name of the task is real-time test. Okay, so I just misspelled real over here. Let me correct it, real-time test. So this is the same name of the task. We have the same color, yellow. We have the same description and also the same subtask which we have added, test automation workflow. Now this means, guys, the automation which we have created using Pabbly Connect is working absolutely fine, and we have tested this automation in real time. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of the same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free. Also, let me tell you, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can do it for absolutely free.
If you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can post them on forum.pabbly.com. So if this video was helpful to you, you can obviously like this video, comment down your suggestion, and don't forget to share it with others. So guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.